here we go. We are at the start of our career with the Ottawa Senators. So, of course, this being our last stop on the road to glory, I've already gone ahead and signed all the coaches that I want. And now we're going to take a look at our roster and see what we're made up of. We'll start in goal. So first you have Andre Maka, who is a 3-star ability at 33 years of age. And then Lawrence Stretch, who is 20 years of age, not a 5-star, half-star ability. So we're definitely going to need at least a goaltender out of free agency. That much is for sure. Next, you have defense. So we have Luke Sidok, a 4.5-star ability, 27 years of age. Definitely an offensive defenseman, but his stick checking is up there at 19 as well. Just a really solid offensive defenseman, it looks like. Let's see his last season stats. 59 points. Yeah. So it looks like he's someone we're going to be relying on. Let's see his contract situation. 6.6 for the next 5 years. Yeah, that is a great contract for him. If he lives up to 59 points per season, I will absolutely be relying on him. And now we have Justin Shat. He is 32 years of age, 4-star ability. Another offensive defenseman, it looks like. Last season with Ottawa, he had 34 points in 80 games, but the season before he had 57 points. So once again, another prominent offensive defenseman that we can rely on, at least for this year, because he is only on a 1-year deal, and he's 32 years of age, so he might have to move on at some point soon. But nonetheless, a good player to have for right now. Then you have Chrysler Westerlund, who is 26 years of age, also a 4-star ability. And it looks like also an offensive defenseman based off those ratings. Last season, he had 58 points on the back end. So this is definitely an offensive team based off what we're seeing so far, at least from the back end. And then Roger Hankin, also it looks like an offensive defenseman, good hitter as well. He had 46 points last year. So yeah, a lot of offense from the back end. Then you have Reed Cerrone. Looks like more of a defensive defenseman. Yeah, he had 8 points last season in 67 games played. He had a 59 grade. So I don't know how long he's going to be hanging around here in Ottawa, but, we'll try to get him to play his best. Adam Coates is a 2-star ability, 26 years of age. Just looks all around just decent. Nothing that really stands out about him. And then Jeff Soden, 33 years of age. Pretty good defensively there. 18 defensive read, 17 hitting, 16 checking. Could be better with the positioning for sure. Physical, definitely an area of concern for him, but I think he could make it work, especially if he's our 7th defenseman. I wouldn't mind that. So there you go. There is our defensive core. Everything's looking pretty solid there, especially those 4. Sidok, Schacht, Westerlund, and Hankin. And now at forward, we have Pavel Johnson. He is 27 years of age, 4-star ability. Just looks really well-rounded defensively, offensively, and physically. Wish that team player was a bit higher, but overall, just looks like a very solid player. He had 38 points last year in 82 games with the Ottawa Senators. That was his first season with Ottawa. Then you have Randolph Rogers, 28 years of age, 4-star ability. He is a center, 19 for faceoffs, 18 puck handling and passing. Great physically, that 20 stamina, 17 agility, 16 speed. And he's also solid defensively, it looks like. 17 defensive reads, 17 stick checking, 16 positioning, and then even that 14 for checking will help him out. So yeah, 71 points last season with the Ottawa Senators, so we're going to be relying on him for sure. Probably in all situations kind of player, to be honest. Then you have the captain, Alexander Kisniakov. He is a 3.5-star ability, 28 years of age. Well-rounded offensive category. Pretty good physically. Good mental category as well. Last season, he had 68 points and a 67 grade. Then you have Pavel Werner. He is a center, I believe. Yeah, 20 for faceoffs. Pretty average all around for the most part, but definitely going to be relying on him defensively, I think. I think he'll be a penalty killer, to be honest, with that kind of defensive category. Because the offensive category, honestly, isn't too impressive on him. Although he is a 3.5-star ability. So, yeah, I would say he's more of a penalty killer. He's 25 years of age, too, so we can get quite a few years out of him. Then you have Tobias Wieland. He is 29 years of age, 3.5-star ability. I would say he looks like a sniper with that getting open at 19, shooting accuracy at 18, offensive read 17. Physical category is good. I like his mental ratings. Yeah, he looks to be our goal scorer. Oh, yeah, he's our goal scorer. Look at that. Look at some of these seasons that he's had with Ottawa. 54 goals, 59 assists, 113 points. Are you kidding me? In that one season there. 50 goals that season, 41 goals 2 seasons ago. Of course, last season was not too hot for him. Only 49 points in 82 games, so that is definitely underwhelming compared to what we see from the 3 seasons before that, but definitely someone who we are going to be leaning on quite heavily, I would imagine. Then you have Saganiyak, who is 38 years of age, so he is one of the veterans of this team. Good passer, good at faceoffs. And it looks like he's been with Ottawa basically his entire career. Had 53 points last season and a 65 grade. Then you have Jody Merrifield, good offensive read, good defensive read, good mental ratings, good physically. 35 points last season and a 66 grade. Then you have Tim Emerson, who is 33 years of age. He is 2.5-star ability. Generally well-rounded, it looks like. Last season, he had 32 points in 72 games played. He was previously the captain, it looks like, as well. Then you have Stephen Quinn, who is 25 years of age, 2.5-star ability. Great passer and good at faceoffs. Those are the things that really stand out about him. And last year with the Ottawa Senators, he had 21 points in 82 games played, 57 grade. Looks like he'll be on our bottom 6. Then you have Antoine Giroux. More of an offensive player than anything, but still nothing spectacular out of him. I mean, his mental category is good. Although he did have 31 points last season, so I suppose that's respectable, especially for a player of his caliber. He's only 2.5-star, I believe, yeah. So looking forward to seeing what he can do this season. Then you have Kurt Van Buren. Good passer, good at faceoffs, good offensive read. Last season, he had 14 points with the Ottawa Senators and a 55 grade, so nothing spectacular there, although that was his first season in the NHL. Then you have Kylian Barron, who is 22 years of age, 2-star ability. Looks like he's best at hitting and positioning. Last year was his first season in the NHL, 22 games played, 4 points, 55 grade, nothing special. And then Jean-Christophe Dion, 19 years of age, doesn't look like he's played in the NHL yet. Yeah, no, last season he was in, well, actually he has played in the NHL, but 5 games, looks like it was a trial 5 games sort of deal. Then he was sent back to juniors, where he had 57 points in 40 games played with the Titans. So that is what we're working with at the moment. I think if anything, I would want to get a goaltender out of free agency, but that's really about it. So this guy looks good. Jody Moberdorf. He had a .913 save percentage last year in 61 games played with Colorado, .910 the year before, and .919 the year before. So really no reason to believe that he won't be able to get the job done. He unfortunately, though, does want a lot of money that we do not have. So let's try Alan Manning. He is 21 years of age. Doesn't look like, he hasn't played in the NHL just yet. But he did want a cheap contract, and maybe he'll be NHL ready right out of the gate. Also going to sign a depth guy who I believe is currently an RFA for us, Manny Medina. He's asking for 1.1 for 2 years. That sounds good to me. So besides those 2 signings, I think we're pretty much set here. Overall, I think we have the talent to compete for the Stanley Cup this year. Especially with how good our top 4 defensemen are, and then not to mention some pretty good depth at forward as well. I'm really looking for this team to win the Stanley Cup, hopefully within 3 years. I would say we have 3 or 4 years, because the majority of this team is either in or past their prime. We have 4 players who are 24 or younger, and none of them have more than a 2.5-star potential. And like I said, everybody else is either in or past their prime, in some cases way past their prime for Saganiyak. So we really have to make the next couple of years count here. And the unfortunate part about the Ottawa Senators here is that we have almost no prospects. Like Ralph Balding is our best prospect at a 2.5-star potential. I mean, he looks like he could be a decent 4th liner for us, but it's a really thin prospect pool here in Ottawa, if you can even consider it a prospect pool. Like it's very, very minimal as far as future talent here in Ottawa. So we really have to make these next few years count, and we also have to, make sure to replenish the cupboards for our prospects. Because if we don't, and we can't win within these next 3 or 4 years, then it's going to be an ugly rebuild. So that's the goal for this team, is to hopefully win the Stanley Cup within the next 3 or 4 years. That's I would say 4 years at most for this team for sure. But that being said, I also don't want to, go crazy with the changes right off the bat, because, it is a new team. We just got here, so we may as well see what we have. But there's not going to be any room for complacency, basically. Like, if there's something wrong, we need to address it immediately, kind of thing. But we also at the same time have to be careful about how we go about trading our draft picks around, because like I said earlier, the prospect pool is essentially non-existent for this team. So we have to really find a balance between having a winning roster and then accumulating good prospects, you know. But with that all being done, I think we will advance up to, I believe the draft is next, actually, with, yeah, the draft lottery is on the 6th, and then the draft is on the 7th, so I might actually end it there, like before the draft starts. All right, here we go. Draft lottery time, and I believe, yeah, we are in the draft lottery as the Ottawa Senators just barely missed the playoffs last year, I believe. So let's see if we get a top 3 pick here. So at pick number 16, we have Anaheim. 15, Arizona. 14, will it be us or Buffalo? It will be us, okay. So at number 13, you have Buffalo. 12, you have Carolina, so Washington moves into the top 3. At number 11, you have LA. 10, Calgary. 9, the Rangers. 8, the Devils. 7, you have Florida, so Dallas moves into the top 3. 6, you have Minnesota. 5, you have Vancouver. 4, you have Montreal, so it is Seattle, Dallas, and Washington for the top 3. At number 3, you have Seattle, and number 1 is Dallas. So there you go. We did get Manny Medina and Alan Manning on board. Oh, wow. Manning is actually, he looks, yeah, look at that. 4-star potential and a 2.5-star ability for a kid out of college who was just signed in for agency. He could be a steal. I mean, depending on how he simulates, of course, but, you know, I mean, he's 6'6", so that's already a bonus for a goaltender there. So looking forward to seeing how he performs. Anyway, we do have the draft coming up, so I think that'll be about it for this one. And there you go. There's your introduction to the 2041-42 Ottawa Senators.